Polygon. Wonderful, dear, sweet, wonderful Polygon. They blessed us, Brian, with another article of the 100 best games of the decade. So for anyone who listened to episode 50 of the Power Hour, we went through IGN's top 100 games of all time list. So Polygon, all these sites, like we said, these sites have to do these lists to get people to actually go to them because no one's going to these sites anymore. And yes, they decided to look at their staff picks. And it is an interesting list. I will give it that.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a fun game to play. How many games have we even heard of? Because I know at least a third of these I haven't.
Yeah, so what I said to Jim is right before we started, I'm going to probably bite myself for saying this right now, but I feel like it would be really hard to not at least include everything that truly should be included in a list of 100 games for only 10 years. With that being said, I can see right now one of the things they wrote up is that, they gave themselves a lot of latitude and they wanted to... The games should represent wider shifts in gaming culture in the last decade, including esports, games as a service, representation, streaming, and the rise of indies. We wanted to present a list that represents how games have forged an ever more intimate relationship between the player and the experience. That's a fancy way of saying these probably aren't necessarily the most fun games or the games that you would say have aged the best. These are probably games that, like they're saying, had more of a cultural impact. So, with never opening this list, I'm gonna make a guess. Did you already go through it, Jim?
I went through it, but I'm just reading through the write-up of the first game they put on the list, and I think it gives you an idea of what you're about to see the whole time.
Okay, so Jim, you don't have to confirm it, but can I make a guess
right.
of at least in the top 10, based on what they're saying, games that a list like this might have in there?
Go ahead.
All right, so Fortnite's going to be in there. I'll just lump like Fortnite and like Overwatch games like that together. They'll probably have at least Breath of the Wild. 10 years. Man. It's tough to think what was exactly 10 years. I'm trying to think of games that are going to really piss me off. And at least, all right, as we go through a list, some might pop in my head. But, yeah, let's go through. We'll really quickly kind of go through them. And, Jim, you and I can just go back and forth and say if we've played it or even know it.
Yep.
So I'll let you start.
This first one, I do want to read part of this write-up just to give you an idea of what you're in for. So, the first game, Virginia. Brian, have you played / heard of it?
Nope.
Me neither. But, Brian, you'll be happy to know that Virginia explores how women in the workplace are undermined by patriarchal power struggles, including divide and conquer strategies. It's a work of creative courage that tells a deeply engaging story about friendship, loyalty, betrayal, and identity. It's also a valuable example of how, in the last few years, game developers have embraced complex political and social issues. Written by a man named Colin Campbell. Go fuck yourself.
Jim, he is the shiniest white knight I've ever heard. And, yeah, I mean, when you put words together in a sentence that make those sounds, you know what to expect from a list like this. So,
and it's
I'm already
Polygon. I shouldn't be surprised. It's Polygon, but...
yeah, so a game I honestly have never heard of it, let alone played it. So
yeah, I don't know how it's the top most important game if no one's ever fucking heard of it, but fine. Next up.
So,
oops, sorry.
So we got Life is Strange.
I've heard
of it.
Yeah.
I have played a little bit of it, but it didn't... I've heard that it's good. I can't vouch for it.
Yeah, I mean, people did seem to love it and, like, you know, the story and whatever. I don't know anything about it outside of... I know, like, the main characters are, like, depressed lesbians or something like that, going through death struggle, shit like that. Like, it's supposed to be, like, a more personal kind of introspective game or some shit.
Yeah. Yeah, so go ahead.
Yeah, next up, Slay the Spire. Slay the Spire. Never heard of it, and looks like it's a ripoff of Hearthstone.
Yeah, same here. Never heard of it. Fire Emblem Three Houses. I think everyone's probably heard of it. And over 10 years, I don't know. I didn't play it, so I can't say if it should be on here or not.
I mean, it just came out like a couple months ago, and people seem to really love it. So yeah, fine, put it on there.
Yeah.
I'm surprised this is so fucking low.
Yeah.
Super Mario Maker 96.
Yeah. I know it. I know a lot about it, and I'm shocked it's definitely not higher on the list. It makes me think they must have had Odyssey then closer to top 10 at a minimum if they had that up there.
I mean, like, if you talk impact in gaming, like, this game was for, like, a long time, like, one of the premier things that people would put up on YouTube. Like, people just going around making a community out of making all, like, you know, as hard a map as you can to try and fucking beat and shit like that. And, like, I can't believe it's that low.
Yeah. The next one, another one, I can't believe it's a slow, Cuphead. Before this game, and obviously I've played through it, and we've talked about it, we reviewed it. Amazing, my favorite current gen. It's in my top 5 favorite platformer or running guns, whatever you want to call it. But the artistic style is so friggin' unique, and that was the thing that everyone was so hyped about with this game. And it paid off. The soundtrack, the play style, it was one of the hardest goddamn games. It's so good, it should be a lot higher on this list. So that disappoints me.
Yeah, like, again, if you're talking best games, but of course it's Polygon with their cultural shit, Cuphead at least a top 50. I mean, it should be way better than that, but
yeah,
because right after it, it's in the same things of What Remains of Edith Finch. What?
Yeah, and that game was along the lines of the Life is Strange. So I think we're going to see a lot of those. You know what, Jim? Actually, now that we're going through it, as I said I was going to do, I think Her Story is going to be really high. And I actually like that game, but I have a feeling that's going to be really high on this list.
Right. Thank God Edith Finch, you know, its economical writing walks a tightrope between farcical and maudlin. People using their goddamn sociology degrees. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So the next one, Total War 3 Kingdoms. I love the Total War games. I'll be honest, this is one of the few I haven't played, but okay. Have one of them on there. That's fine.
Next up, Device 6. What?
The fuck is that?
I don't know what this is. I've never heard of it. Is it a mobile game? I know they put a lot of mobile games on this.
It's a trippy rhythm game. Adventure. I don't know. It's both a narrative mystery and a bond-tingled puzzle game.
Okay,
all right.
Whatever.
Shouldn't be on here. Next one is...
a game can't be on the best list if no one heard of it.
Yeah. The next one, once again, you talk about best. This game really helped put Telltale on the map, and of course, The Walking Dead. The point-and-click genre was dead forever. Telltale, they've been basically keeping that genre alive with all their games. And although Walking Dead was not their first, this is the one that really cemented them, I feel like, as a legit thing because it was right on the hype of the show. Should be much higher. It's a great game. But, as we said...
Yeah, exactly. And then after that, Resident Evil 7 at 90.
Which, you know what? I don't care where you would have to put it, but yeah, Resident Evil 7 should be on here.
Right.
With the titles that I'm sure are going to pass this, it's going to piss me off. But yes, this game should be on here because it obviously brought Resident Evil back to horror.
And I'm actually kind of shocked this is so low. 89, Middle Earth, Shadow of Mordor. Was that the follow-up or was that the...
I think that's the original.
Is that the original one? Yeah, because people went crazy for this game. It got multiple Game of the Years. It was a gigantic
It's an amazing game.
I only played it for like an hour, and then I need to go back to it. But, yeah, like, it's a really well-made game. I can't believe it's an 80-friggin-9.
I'd be fine with it at 89 if I knew for sure everything after this was complete gold.
Right. And 88, Monster Hunter World. Okay.
But that's another one. I never personally played it, but the hype and the community behind it, holy shit, this game could have done no wrong. Why is it only at 88?
Right.
The next one. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you can go.
Yeah. So Control. I know about it. Never played it.
Never played. Never heard of it.
Okay. This right here. This fucking right here. Go ahead, Jim. You say it because I'll get too mad.
So just remember, this is past Cuphead, and this is past
And
Resident
Monster
Evil 7.
Hunter World.
Monster Hunter World. Kim Kardashian Hollywood. This was a decade of mobile games unapologetically tailored toward young women.
Jim, can I cut forward the line itself that all we need to say at the final paragraph describing this game? It's delicious, campy fun. The player moves to Los Angeles and is greeted by Kim K, who takes them under her wing as they rise in fame. Right fucking there. I don't care if you say most important, most influential. This should never be on a fucking top list. I don't care. What are you doing?
Wasn't it just a dress-up game, or was that a different Kim Kardashian game that came out?
Doesn't matter. There's no justification here. I mean, it's fuck this list already.
Yeah, so 85, FTL, Faster Than Light. I've heard of it. I never got to play it, but it did look interesting.
Shipbuilder, good game. I'm fine with where it's at.
Right.
The next one, Flappy Bird. The amount of waves that thing made, I feel like it should be higher because it started that genre of annoying ass type of games on all like cell phones.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
should be on. You know what? I'm fine with it being on here, and if you're including mobile games, it should definitely be on here because this made such a buzz.
Yes, exactly.
And I mean the hate that the poor creator got for it because it is a tough game. Like he delisted it and he quit making games. Like it was kind of a shame.
Yeah.
And here's one that people are going to be pissed off about at 83, Papers, Please. Now, I haven't played it yet, but I've seen a lot of people play it, and I know that it's one of those games that people absolutely love, and it's like actually a really thoughtful and well thought out kind of game. So the fact that it's only 2 up from Kim fucking Kardashian.
I never played it, but it looks interesting, so I will play it after this.
Yeah.
All right, XCOM 2, War of the Chosen at 82. Definitely have one of the XCOMs on here. If this is the only one, I guess that makes sense. But I hope they have the first one on here higher. But I doubt they do because it's a great game. 81, Oxenfree. I've played this. It's a very stylized, kind of interesting platformer. It's not even a hair better than Cuphead, though. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I never played.
They try to really squish teenage angst into a platformer that's kind of trippy.
Seems to be a lot of these games, isn't it?
Jim, you might know this one better than me.
I mean, I know the PGA or the Tiger Woods games. Yeah, Tiger Woods PGA Tour 13. Like, I guess if you're going to say it's the best golf game that's come out in there, and it probably has rock solid mechanics and all that, but I haven't played a PGA Tour since the Genesis, so I stick to the more arcadey fun golf games, but if you want a simulation, I'm sure it's fine. Top 100 game of the decade, though? I don't know about that.
Not better than Cuphead.
Not better than Cuphead. There you go. Next up, Animal Crossing, New Leaf. People love them some fucking Animal Crossing. What can I say?
It's got to be on here. Never played it, but yes, it has to be on here. Number 78, The Stanley Parable, which is, oh man, I've seen this game. I haven't played it, but it's like a humorous version of like Slender Man would be the best way I could describe it.
And isn't it
I heard
kind of
a lot
barely a game? Isn't it like just more like
it is
introspective? Another one of these fucking introspective character. You are the character going through like the perils and like your depressing life and shit like that.
Yeah, but there's like at least a pretty decent humor in it. I'll say that.
Okay. Because, yeah, I remember I used to follow this one page, and I can't remember the name of it right now, but he would make these, like, long-form, half-hour essays about games, and he just gushed over this multiple times. So, I know of it, but never played.
Next one, I have no idea what the fuck it is. Gorogoa? Gorogoa? Yeah. Never heard of it. Never played it.
Yeah, some kind of puzzle game. Okay. Next up, Gravity Rush 2. I hear people love Gravity Rush, and it actually looks fun. I've never played it, though.
Same. Next one, Beat Saber.
This is like the only reason I want to get a VR set, actually.
Yeah, I never played it, but I know it looked pretty interesting.
Yeah,
That's all I can say.
It's like Guitar Hero, but like you're using your whole body with the VR setup kind of deal to play it. So that's right up my alley.
Yeah. The next one, never heard of, and definitely, I'm just going to say, shouldn't be on here.
2 dots. What?
It's a puzzle game, Jim. It's a mobile puzzle game. And
it's better than Cuphead, apparently.
Next one.
Low. Too low.
Mario Kart 8. So, as we've said, as Mario Karts go on, the newest one typically will be the best one because it'll include everything, yada, yada. But that really was a great game. As far as where its placement is, once again, it's definitely too low. But at the same time, it wouldn't be too low if a lot of things were before it that made sense.
Well, Brian, I mean, he'd barely beat 2 dots.
Exactly. Then we get to Mass Effect 2, which I've played Mass Effect 1. And obviously you have to have at least one of the Mass Effects on here. And you've said this is probably the best one, right?
Yeah. Overall, it's probably the best one as far as like storyline and gameplay together goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the one that does the most right. Like, there's things about the other ones I like more, but yeah, it's the best one.
Warframe at 71. I actually downloaded this and played it for a little while. The most intriguing thing is that it was free to play, and it was a kind of interesting take on. I don't even know. Like, it's fine. It should be on there because it still is pretty popular to this day.
Yeah. Next up at 70, Diablo 3. I know it had a horrific launch, but people love the game. It's been ported everywhere. I'm pretty sure it was a good success. So,
another one should be higher. 69, The Witness. I heard about it, never played it. So I can't really say where it should be, but I doubt it's better than Cuphead. So
68, Metal Gear Solid, The Phantom Pain. Everyone knows Metal Gear Solid. I just haven't played it.
Yeah. Universal Paperclips.
What?
I'm already going to say, fuck you, no. It's an online narrative story-driven game.
Wonderful. Because as a game, which makes it a game, which is a thing you play, better than Cuphead.
Better, yeah. Jim, this next one might be one of your favorites.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I would be interested in it. Doki Doki Literature Club. So, everything I've heard about it, it's kind of a... Oh, wait, no. Oh, no, I was thinking of Hitofu Boy. That's the more, risque one. It's a dating simulator, anime character-looking one. PG-rated dialogue. Get out of here. If I'm gonna have fan service dating simulator games, I want some goddamn smut in it.
Damn it, Jim.
What? Gotta be honest.
Yeah, shouldn't be on here. Grand Theft Auto Online. So, here's where I'm confused. It's like the offshoot of 5, and I feel like you can't, unless I'm wrong.
I thought it wasn't its own game. I thought it was just part of 5 at first.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know if they're basically saying like the spinoff of 5 that allows you to just play online is on here. Unless they have 5 on here, I'm going to call some weird fuckery with that because that makes no sense.
Yeah.
64, Johann Sebastian Joust. Never played it.
The only game that doesn't require to look at the screen. What? It's more of an event than a game. If it's more of an event than a game, it shouldn't be on a top 100 games list. Because it's not a game.
But Jim, I say boo-boo-boo-boo.
But yeah, they promote...
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brian.
63, the Jackbox Party Pack. Is this a fucking card game that you play online?
I think it's the old You Don't Know Jack games. And
yeah.
Like, I know people loved it, like, stream playing Quiplash and shit like that, which is, I think it's like a apples to apples, but online kind of deal. Maybe this is part of that. I don't know.
You know what my problem is with this, Jim?
Better than
the
Cuphead?
Same people. No, well, it's that, but it's also the same people that'd be like, virtual pinball is cool too.
Hey.
Just stop with the card games.
I'm feeling attacked here.
I'm fine if you want to play card games online, but don't ever say it's number 63 on a top 100 list over a decade. Okay?
62, Super Street Fighter 4. Sure.
Yeah.
Should be on the list somewhere.
It actually should probably be lower, but
well, bye.
And I'm not even taking shots at this. I'm saying I've heard it was really good.
Yeah, people. Yeah, I mean, among the fighting community, Street Fighter is always going to be huge. Blah 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 blah. But Brian,
this next one,
it might be good, but it's not Frog Fractions. It's 61. It's a crappy math game for elementary schools, or it looks like it.
Yeah,
it's a free browser game.
It essentially is a math game. I'm sorry, no, just no. Number 60, Bayonetta 2.
Yeah.
I figured at least one of the Bayonettas have to be on here, and I'm actually okay with the placement. Still not better than Cuphead, but whatever.
Yep. 59, Last of Us. I still haven't played,
Holy
but everyone
shit.
knows it. But that seems extremely low.
That's extreme, especially for the people making this list and giving the themes and everything that's been made about this game way too low. But hey, I guess they had to make room for fucking Subsurface Circular, a game I've never heard of.
Never heard of.
58. And what do you know? It's another shitty puzzle game.
But it relies heavily on dialogue trees. What a good game.
Fuck. God. Civilization 6 at number 57. Yes, you should have a Civilization. Into the Breach at 56.
I've heard of it. I've never played.
Yeah, I never played it.
It looks like a tactical game.
Yeah. Can't speak on it.
It's got the same text in game that every single retro-inspired game has, but whatever.
Yeah.
Hollow Knight, I know people absolutely love this game.
Yeah, and it should be on here for sure.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 14, A Realm Reborn. Sure.
Yeah,
I've heard both good and bad things about this, but yeah, sure.
Or is it not a MOBA? Is it just an online RPG? I forget. Maybe it's I think it's more like World of Warcraft, but in Final Fantasy that they finally fixed. But Bri, it was the relaunch of the game that no one liked at first, and then they made it something everyone loves. Let me give you a little background for number 53 here, Brian, because everyone's heard of this game, obviously. But
hey, Jim, stop hitting your fingers. Go ahead.
But when the article came out, this game had only been out for like a week and a half.
Sorry, we had a little technical issue, but as I was saying, if you are familiar with current gaming, then this is probably one of the hotter games that everyone's talking about. Somehow, at 53, we have Death Stranding. And truth be told, I am interested in getting this game. I've seen some terrible reviews, and then I see people like this Polygon who are clearly sucking it off because for being out as short as it has, it cut the list almost in half of the greatest games of 100 games in the past decade. I don't buy it at all.
Yeah, that's total Kojima dick suckery. Not to say that it's a bad game. I haven't played it, and I've seen some people who don't like it. I've seen some people who absolutely do love it. So it's one of those very divisive games, but for being out for a week, you put it at 53. Go fuck yourself, Polygon.
Yeah, put that where Cuphead is. Swap it with Cuphead, and I won't even have a complaint.
Yeah. And number 52, Undertale. That's going to piss people off.
I mean, it should probably, in a lot of people's eyes, it should be higher. But yeah, it definitely should be on. Just the soundtrack alone, it should be really high on this list.
Yeah.
All right, so now we come to 51, Limbo and Inside. They pulled a me and kind of guess couldn't decide which one, but they're both so similar. But yes, absolutely, both from the style and how much fun those games are, they should be on this list, and I'm pretty okay with the placement.
Yep. Next up, 50. Brian's going to be mad because it's Skyrim.
To say the best RPG of the past decade, which everyone knows, is because it's still getting fucking ported to brand new systems like the Switch, and it was one of the biggest selling points of it. But yeah, it's only number 50. But it's a list that has Kim Kardashian on it, so.
But Brian,
what are you gonna do?
It was beaten out by a game that no one plays anymore. People only played it for a week, and no one seems to really like it. Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, because that's really important, and it was such a well-received game. So, I mean, credibility with this list is going out the window, but I don't even agree with the next one, and I talked this game up.
You're a defender. You love this game.
Number 48, No Man's Sky. I do enjoy this game. I think it got a lot of hate for the wrong reasons, but it should not be 48 on the best games list because, number one, a lot of people didn't play it. Number two, a lot of people had major issues with it. But, hey, what do I know? I'm just the guy who played the games.
But, Bri, how about a mod of a successful game with Dota 2 Auto Chess at 47? Better than Skyrim. Better than Cuphead.
This list, you know what's really driving me fucking crazy about this list, Jim? This is a list made by people like you that would choose games like this to piss someone like me off. This is what's really driving me crazy.
46, Fallout, New Vegas. Should be on the list.
Yes, should be on the list.
That might actually be a decent placement, too.
It may be, but 4 better be before, like after this.
45, FIFA 17. Fucking really?
Yeah, sure. Have a FIFA on here, but not at 45.
44, Thumper. Never heard of it. Rhythm Violence. Nope. Sounds fun.
Yeah. 43, Super Hot. I definitely agree it should be on this list, just not this low. It was really fun and creative way to make a shooter. Just don't have it on this high on the list. 42, The Works of Michael Brow. Fuck?
I think they have a boner for this Derek Wu guy or whatever.
Yeah, it's another, like, it looks like a puzzle game. No, just don't be on here. 41, NBA 2K12. I expect an NBA game to be on here, so fine. But once
put
again,
it lower.
Just like FIFA, yeah.
40, Celeste.
40.
People absolutely rave about this one. Haven't played it yet.
Not better than Skyrim.
I have it, too. I have it sitting right in front of me, but haven't gotten a chance to even open it up yet.
Yeah, I was going to say, probably still in the wrapper.
It is.
39, Firewatch. This is another one I heard so much about, and then when it came out, people, I feel like, played it for 2 months, and then I never heard about it again.
Well, it's not a long game. It doesn't have any replayability. In my mind, it's in that same vein as, like, Stanley Parable, where it's, like, an introspective adventure between character-driven.
Yeah. 38, God of War. Yes, it should be on here. I don't know. I haven't played this one yet, but yeah, it definitely should be on here.
But it's not as good as Destiny 2, which is so different than Destiny 1.
Yeah, Destiny should be... One of the Destiny should be on here. I don't even care. I'm fine with that because of how much hype there was, and people did love the game.
Next up.
36. Wow, this surprises me.
Should be on here. I
love this game.
Might be a good spot for it, too, actually.
I don't think it should be this high. I mean, I need to see what other shooters are past it. You and I think, are some of the biggest defenders of this game because it kind of fell by the wayside for most people.
Oh, yeah.
But Titanfall 2 is a great game if you actually pick it up and play it. I think it's a little high, and it still should not be higher than Skyrim or Cuphead. Red Dead Redemption Collection at number 35. I don't know. So this isn't even the newest. This is straight up a collection of it.
It's Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Online, I think.
Okay. So it's sure, yes. Probably should be higher if unless they have Red Dead 2 higher on here itself.
34, Tetris Effect. I know you're going to be mad about this. I haven't played this one yet, but I hear people love it. But it is just fancy-looking Tetris from everything I've ever seen. Tetris
and I've never even heard of this. And
really?
If you're going to put anything, put Tetris 99 and not this.
I'm fair with that.
33, Kerbal Space Program. I know I've heard of it. I thought people liked it, but I didn't think they liked it this much.
Yeah, it seems a little high, but I do know people really love it. 32, Divinity 2 Original Sin shows up again. I got bored after an hour.
Never played it.
Yeah, this was like 98 on IGN's top. At least it's, if you're doing top games of, the decade and not, on all time.
It should be on the list. I just don't know if it should be that high.
Yeah, it's not my type of game. Fine.
31, Bloodborne, absolutely. And
might be a decent
okay
spot.
With the placement.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably should be higher, but I guess we'll see.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey at 30. I know people absolutely love it. It's one of the best Assassin's Creeds by all accounts. I never played it.
Yeah, I'm absolutely fine with that.
Yep. 29, Florence. What the fuck is Florence?
Jim, it's an engaging game about a fairly ordinary romantic relationship. Because that's what you fucking want. A game about an ordinary romantic relationship on a list that's about the best fucking games.
A mobile game with simple touch mechanics for mini games and puzzles. Yes, top 100 game.
Fuck you. And fuck your Portal 2 at 28. I'm actually fine with Portal or Portal 2 being on here. Because, yes, they absolutely should.
That's a good spot. I think it's a decent spot for it.
Yeah, if they reshift it, Skyrim, Cuphead, and all those others in front of it, absolutely. Doom at 27, fine. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Dishonored 2 at 26. I guess you got to put one of the Dishonoreds.
I don't think it had the impact that one had, though.
Yeah, one had way more of an impact. All right, so 25, we have Outer Wilds. I'll be honest, I never even heard about this one.
Me neither. Another non-violent adventure puzzle game. Okay. Another one, Terrafall. I might have heard of this.
Yeah, I've heard about it, but...
Originally on the...
Really?
Ouya? An Ouya 10-pole title? Okay.
Like, really? 23, I know you're all for this. Rocket League.
Yeah.
Not this high. Just, no.
I'm fine with it.
Of course you are. But that's why guys like you made this list. Who would put this shit before Skyrim? 22, Stardew Valley. Yes, it's got to be on here.
Yep.
And because of the fucking hype, I guess you have to have it this high.
Yep. 21, CSGO. Yeah, should be on here.
Yeah. Journey, this is a game I need to play at this point because I'm so tired of seeing it so high on these lists. It better be the best fucking... I don't even know.
I gotta play it too. I gotta play it. It's by the same people who did Flower, Brian, so I'm sure you're gonna love it.
Oh, then it's fucking terrible.
19, Overwatch. Yes, should be on here. Probably a good spot for it.
Yeah. 18, Her Story. Like
what?
I said, I knew it would be pretty high. This should be on here. Nowhere near this high. It's a very intriguing game, but you play it once and you're not going to pick it up again.
FMV, I'll give it credit for that. Not this high, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
17, Persona 4 Golden. Sure.
Just not this high.
You talk to the RPG dorks, they might disagree, Brian. Next up,
That's why I don't talk to them.
Nier Automata. I know people love it. I never played.
Don't be this high.
What the fuck? Everything. Never even heard of it.
Here's an extraordinary game in the sense that is literally like nothing else in the world. It is a universe of being rather than doing. An intergalactic playpen of anything goes. Why? Oh, number 1 has to be Minecraft on this list, by the way, now that I'm seeing this shit.
They should have just called this top 100 gaming experience of the last 100 years, and then fine. But not just games.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
14, Super Mario World 3D World. Sure.
People don't even like it that much compared to most 3D Marios, but fine, whatever. Not this high, I don't think.
Gone Home. No. Come on, guys. What the fuck? It's... Yeah, I like how they even say it's like the walking simulator.
Wonderful.
You're exploring a creepy house. Nothing really happens. I'm not trying to be a spoiler. It's a fine game. Put it on the list. But put it in the 80s, please. What
Next up, 12. Return to the Orbidin. What? Point-and-click adventure. Okay.
It's a two-tone style of early Mac games. Because that's what people are clamoring for.
Murder mystery on a show, whatever.
Number 11, we have PUBG. Yes, it should be on here. And I'm actually kind of okay with the placement.
Yeah, we love it. Makes sense. Number 10, Fortnite. If you got to have PUBG, you got to have Fortnite. I'm shocked it's not, like, top 5.
Yeah, especially when they're talking about esports and how important it is from that. We like PUBG more, but makes sense. Fine. You should have it as number 10. Number 9, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Yes, it should be on here. And yes, I'm fine with the placement. Number 8, Dark Souls. No. Have one of the newer ones on there. If you're going to have to put Dark Souls, and Bloodborne is better than those, and that's all a preference thing, but it definitely should be on here.
7, PT. Too high.
Just get it. Once again, like Jim said, if you can't even play it anymore and you can't even experience it, how are you going to have it on a list? Like, yes, it was a cool thing, but No. Like, either make it an honorable mention because you can't do it anymore. Like, stop.
I'm fine with it being on the list, just not at 7.
Yeah. 6, League of Legends. Yep, I'm fine with. And because of that crowd, sure.
5.
Pokemon Go.
If you were mad with it being on the top 100 games of all time on IGN at number 100, number 5 of a decade.
Which now I think you and I have just basically completely revealed. This is the best, whatever gaming experience.
Yeah.
As a gaming experience, sure. As game,
no.
Nope.
Especially with
this.
number 4. I never even heard of this.
Oh, goddamn. No game captures this decade as well as Kentucky Route Zero. Yeah, there's a lot of other games that capture it much fucking better because it's a... I don't even know what to say about this.
But, Bri, it's got the bureaucratic coolness of the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces in Act 3. I mean, how can you not love it?
I'm just as mad about number 3.
Spelunky.
Which is
I mean, I haven't played it, but not at 3.
Not at 3.
A randomly generated platformer. Wonderful. 2.
Number 2.
Breath of the Wild.
Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. Fine.
Fine.
I don't agree with it, but fine. And 1, as I said, once I started realizing how this was going to go, Minecraft. And
which
honestly,
I'm fine with. I'm fine with it being number 1.
So here's the deal, Jim. Now that I've seen this terrible list,
I'm glad I can just close out the webpage because all their goddamn embedded ads crashed Skype on us 4 times while we were doing this fucking list.
Yeah. I legitimately want us... some of these games that we're like, what the fuck is it? Whatever. I think we have to review them, Jim.
I think we have to. We have to look at
play
Virginia and Kentucky 403 or whatever the fuck, and the ship one. And
it's just they didn't. They're not all misses, but there's some very glaring misses. And any list, once again, that has Kim Kardashian's game on there, as high as it was, is an illegitimate game. Or illegitimate list, I should say. I'm sorry.
Plus the fact it doesn't even have like Apex Legends, which is such a gigantic fucking shooter right now or shit like that. But no, you got to have the Brave.
Let's put that aside for a second, Jim. Why don't they have a single, and I don't care who you are, Call of Duty, Halo, Gears of War. Once again, as we said, I guess the GTA Online.
No Uncharted's. No Uncharted's made it.
No Uncharted's.
No Tomb Raiders. No.
You also don't have Super Mario Odyssey. You don't have any of the Mario parties. You don't have Owlboy. You don't have some of the shooters out there. You don't have Bloodstained, any of them on there. But no, you have point-and-click puzzle games about romance for the mobile market. Like, really? This is your list? Yeah. And Fire Pro Wrestling Returns,
yeah,
or you don't have any. You don't have Left 4 Dead 2. You don't have. This list is, like I said, it's complete bullshit.
I would take a version of Plants vs Zombies. That should be on there more than this.
Yes, of fucking or
Angry Birds.
I'll take Angry Birds. I'll take Candy Crush. I'll take any of that shit over half of them.
When did Clash of Clans come out? I think that was the last 10 years. That should be on there if you're going to put it for all the mobile shit in there.
It's just highly disappointing that people are allowed to. I mean, whatever. You can put whatever you want, but I think it should just be just call it fake gaming news. Whatever you want to call it.
All the quote unquote men at Polygon. You know what? Gamergate's right. Let's go back. Let's go back to 2014.